What's up, American Dystopia family? Family. Man, it has been a crazy weekend, y'all. It's been a crazy weekend.
Sorry to interrupt, but this,
That's the Amazon cloud.
Amazon cloud. For those of you who don't know what that is the Amazon cloud. And that was originated by Andrew Yang, but I kind of made it a thing. So I'm actually kind of proud of that because every time you see me now, it's got that cloud. It's kind of like my trademark.
thanks.
So how is everybody doing? Is everybody making it? Ooh, my goodness.
Opening my eyes like this, so
Yeah.
it's like on the screen, my eyes are like closed right now.
Right. We got a lot to get into today. We've got stimulus that's on the table that the Senate has brought back up. We've got Andrew Yang bring back the DNC. We've got, oh my gosh, America is burning. That is something, man. Now we got drama with the Zach and Matt show.
We'll get
What's
into
going
that
on?
too.
And we will get into that, but we will not air out certain things. And for those of you who are in, kind of behind the scenes in certain places, you know what we're talking about. We're not even going to get into that because it was not humanity first. I'll just leave it there. I actually sorry,
That
but
was really.
was it loud?
Yeah.
You know, Daddy, I tend to be loud, but that was not humanity first going on a while ago. So a lot to get into. But the first thing we want to do is shout out to our Patreons and the donors who make this possible, the channel possible, make us possible. It's only through your gracious donations that we are able to continue and pay rent. And hey, painted the wall behind us.
That's why there's no hats back there.
That's why there's no hats. I did risk putting up Andrew Yang's signatures for the show, but I'm just like a little kid. I'm gonna touch it.
Is it dry?
But that wall really
It's mostly dry. It was ugly. That ugly green wall, man. When we moved into this place.
I want it like not light gray. I want it like super gray.
Yeah, super gray.
Gray's his favorite color right now.
Well, we're thinking about painting that wall red. What do you think about that? We figure since we're in quarantine, we may as well
Why
do
is it
some
going
home
that way?
Yeah.
even though it's not even our home. There's not
Yeah,
much else to do.
we're gonna find our own home.
But luckily, we're able to take it off of rent, so that's good.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hopefully find some leopard frogs. I love leopard frogs. They're cool. I
Love
love
them too.
animals.
I love animals too.
I love animals too. We are definitely very much nature lovers in this house. We find a spider inside. We put it outside. We try not to kill anything, and we make that a kind of a family thing. It's very tough.
Try not to mess with bees because they'll get mad and sting you.
They will get mad and they will sting you. So thank you for everybody that's on the live stream right now. If you haven't already, make sure that you check out the trickle-up.com. This is where we are trying to centralize everything, and we are very, very proud to be a part of that over there. And everything is getting centralized. And if you're looking for any of the live streams, if you're looking for anything, it's going to be found over there, if not the day of, the day after. So, great place to go and check out everything that is going on over there in the Yang Gang. The Yang Gang is not dead. We are alive. We are thriving. And
Why is this going on in that? And why is this?
It's reversed.
the camera reverses it.
Like
See, my hat says math, but in real life it says TAM.
In real life, it says math.
I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. Oh my gosh,
Because it's already been reversed. That's what's happening.
oh, look.
and you guys are reversed.
That is awesome. Well, we appreciate you being here. So, what should we get into first, Mama?
that
We got so much.
side.
Let's go ahead and talk about
And
the
mine
protests
is on
that is-
like
that are going
your
on.
side.
It's gonna be a little tough,
Right.
but
This is where we're going to talk about something serious.
are you ready? Talk about serious things. On your serious.
We'll
things.
try to make it as brief as possible.
I don't know how much y'all have been keeping up. There's actually a lot on this topic we could go into, but I've been watching like Zach and Matt's live streams in DC and other streams. And you know, most of the protests, they start out very peaceful. And it's usually later in the night, there's outside people coming that weren't really protesting, but they're coming to do the looting and the setting things on fire and the rioting. And then, of course, the police are escalating the peaceful protesters. They're escalating the situation and starting to shoot tear gas at them and rubber bullets and spraying them with pepper spray when they're literally just being peaceful. And that it makes them mad. And they have a right to be mad. I mean, we're already upset that we're not getting any justice. And then now that they're attacking people, you know? So that makes them more mad, and they're going to go bust some windows sometimes. And it's the only way they know to vent that anger because nothing is getting accomplished. But I feel like it could accomplish a lot. And it's going to accomplish more if it stays peaceful.
For
Yes,
sure.
what would you like to say? I see you stewing over there.
Because I think everybody that is watching this channel probably knows what FTP means. Oh my gosh. I have felt what it's like to have the cops target you. I know what it's like. I've been targeted by the cops. It fucking sucks. You're constantly looking over your shoulder. And I wasn't even trying to do anything bad. That's the fucking bad part of it. Sorry, I'm getting loud. Cops have caused me nothing but a fucking headache. They have never caused me. They have never done anything good for me. They have always caused me a headache. And to see cops just blatantly oh my gosh, it enrages me. It enrages me. Because
Get your words.
I can't. It's hard to.
You want me to talk?
For a second, yeah.
Okay, so I do want to talk about some of the good things that were going on, and you could see in multiple streams where the police officers were having conversations with the
Shout
people.
outs to them.
Yeah.
Shout outs to them. The
And
ones that knelt with the protesters.
Yeah, when they were, they said take a knee, and they knelt down to show their support of the movement and of George Floyd. Or it's hard to stay focused on what he's doing. But that was really cool to see because that happened in multiple cities. And now, I don't know if you know this, but the protests are also going on around the world in support of our movement here to get,
because this
less
is
police. Like
this isn't just us. This is the world over. The police force has become so militarized. And so most of them aren't smart enough to. Sorry, there's a lot of smart cops. Don't get me wrong. They call those people detectives. It's crazy. It's like shout outs to law enforcement who's doing it the right way. Shout outs to the law enforcement that know what's up. Because this is a people thing. This is a moment where we all have to come together as one. And all you woke ass white kids out there that are fucking instigating fucking violence and shit, stop it. Stop it.
Because you know who's getting blamed for that? The African American protesters.
You're not accomplishing anything. It's counterproductive. I understand that you want to make a statement. I understand that you want to lend your voice to the voiceless and to the people who are being oppressed. But that's not the way to do it. That is not the way to do it. Violence is very rarely ever the answer, period. It's very rarely ever the answer. This is not the first time we've blown up as a country, and it's not going to be the last. So, you know, I saw an awesome video the other day of a dude who got into the face of a 16-year-old kid, and he told him that this is not the way, that this violence and shit, that you have a choice right now to do things different. And that touched me so much because it's so true. It is possible. It is possible to have a peaceful revolution or a peaceful evolution as a society. We can still come out in mass and we can still join these protests and be a part of this movement and not be violent about it and still get our message across. Because when you start to resort to violence, you start to turn public opinion against you. And that is not what we need right now. We have to have public opinion on our side. It's the only way. And it's going to take all of us. Every color, persuasion, it's all of us. We're all in this shit together. And the sooner that we realize that, the sooner this is all going to be over. And the sooner we can start healing as a country. I'm done. Getting off my soapbox.
All right. I lost my words. I was too busy focused on your words to think of where we were going next.
Which brings me to DNC Bring Back Gang. This country's only hope, man. It's crazy.
And it's amazing to see, you know, Trump goes underground, and then you see Andrew Yang out there on the streets, and you know who would be the better leader. So I mean, and like he's just been right about everything.
If you haven't seen the image of Andrew standing there in solidarity out in the street, oh my God, it's such a beautiful image.
Mm-hmm. You can find it on his Twitter or his Instagram.
Man. You want to talk about a leader? That's a leader. That's a leader. Donald Trump, what the hell are you even doing, dude? Oh my God.
I don't know if you heard, but earlier today, he's saying that the governors and the leaders of the police forces and all of that, they're being weak. That's what he said. They're being weak, even though they're shooting tear gas at people and shooting them with rubber bullets, purposefully aiming for their heads. He's saying they're being weak and they need to shut it down. Basically.
So we need more violence.
Yes,
we need greater violence.
That is what Trump is calling
to
for.
quash this.
More arrests, he says, more handling it. Like he's trying to take a side, but he's trying to take the wrong side. Like he hasn't even addressed the racism. He has not addressed the police brutality. Like he's just staying away from all that and being like, y'all need to do better, you weak asses. That's basically what he's doing. To the police, the mayors, the governors, like he just called them weak because they're not handling it.
You know, something very, very frightening to me happened yesterday. Not because I condone Antifa. I mean, listen, I came from the conservative side. Antifa is like far left to most conservatives. But what they did was they labeled Antifa a terrorist organization, which they've done some pretty horrible shit. I mean, let's be honest. Antifa is responsible for doing some crazy stuff. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I mean, there's good and bad apples in, because we have met some people who were just awesome individuals who were simply against the idea of fascism, and that's not a bad thing in and of itself. It's the motivations that some people put and the actions that some people put. But when he labeled that, right, that means they are subject to military arrest. They are a terrorist organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if it's that easy to label Antifa like that, who's next? Is it going to be a group that you or I,
Yang Gang.
Yang
Could
Gang,
it possibly be? Even though we're not
Anonymous,
Anonymous.
another
Very-
group that is fighting for freedom
Yes, a
That's
very
fine.
vital group that's good at what they do, and
and been at it a long time. As far as like current events goes, anyway. You know, you have, I mean, it's just nuts. Like, where do we go from here? Where does it stop? You know, we got to be really, really careful. It's like I see so much. He's in there. Oh, where you going? What does it matter? You just can't just leave on screen like that. People expect a certain level
do
of
y'all care if I get up and walk away and come right back?
you know, what professionalism. You know what I'm
Does
saying?
this look professional?
We are the broke folk version of the hill.
Honestly, we don't even know what we are. We're just us, and we're just doing our thing. And I will tell you, if we were, this might be a little off topic from what you were talking about, but if we were near, like even if we were in North Carolina, back where we used to live, we'd be, you know, a stone's throw from Charlotte. One of us or both of us, if we had a sitter, would be at the protest. Either, you know, obviously we agree with the protesters and we want to fight for the same thing. So we would be protesting and also documenting, which is very important. So anyways, we live nowhere near a big city. And yes,
they ain't protesting up here in Vermont. This is not.
But we would brave the corona for that, you know. That's something that is very important, and it's time for
There's like nothing
to change.
up here. So that's just like
We're in the middle of nowhere, y'all.
You're gonna get some mooses on your side. Maybe you can do that.
Moose are pretty big, so and powerful, and they can be mean.
Oh man,
Ride a moose. Ride a moose to the.
I want to ride a moose. That's one of my dreams, y'all. I'm not even kidding. I want to ride a moose. I want to get, because look, I used to ride in a rodeo, and I mean, for some of y'all that may not know this, I used to ride bareback broncs, and I know it's a lot different would be to ride a moose, but I think it would be so exciting. That mother, he would buck me off in a hot second, but it would be fun.
There was protests in Vermont?
There was protests in Vermont.
All the 30 people?
I mean, I guess. I mean, you know, and Reptoid, thank you for bringing that up. I did not know. It went completely by my radar. But I mean, we've been so focused on like the big cities that, look, we just been called out all over the place.
I've been focusing on DC.
Where's there a protest in Vermont? Montpelier, maybe?
Whatever it is. Aunt Corey, you want baby see it? Sorry, that came out really
Hold on. We got breaking news right here. I Googled moose ride and some guy did it and got arrested. Why did he get arrested? Somebody tell me why he got arrested.
Because the police, FTP.
Fuck. Man.
That's why. Because they don't care about us.
They don't really care about us. They don't, for sure. It's nuts, man. They've bred this mentality into the police force. You know, it's been bred into the police force. That's just the way they think, man. It's like you come in, and even if you come in with the right motivations, they're going to get it out of you.
They are. I know, because I mean, I don't know if I should air this on the, well, whatever. All 34 of you would, yeah.
Take it, run with it. Run and make it blow up.
No, don't.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say my brother-in-law.
Yeah, he's a cop.
He's a cop now.
He's a cop. Or what?
Yeah, they moved, so he's working on becoming a cop again. But, you know, about a year or so ago, and it seemed like his mindset really changed after that.
Mm-hmm. After he became a cop, it did. He started thinking like a cop.
Yeah. They would have contests to see who could write the most tickets. And like, I wrote the most tickets 2 weeks in a row, bragging about it. Like,
And every
ruining
time you're
people's
around,
lives. They're like, do I pay this ticket or do I buy groceries? I mean, I understand you've got to make sure people don't go 100 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone, but this is not what they do. They're not doing it for your safety.
It's revenue generation. That's all it is. It's become so oppressive on so many levels. And okay, let me ask everybody out there that's watching right now. The last time that a cop got behind you, what's the first thing you did? Hit the brake, looked at your speedometer.
Heart starts racing.
Heart starts racing. Fuck.
Oh, great. Now my life's about to be ruined. And you know what?
It's crazy. That's go ahead.
It is true that it is 10 times worse for African Americans because they do get judged by the color of their skin. So when they have a cop pull up behind them, going through their head is,
fuck, I might get shot. I might get shot. I might die.
And that's so
That's
wrong.
nuts. That's if you cannot. Donald Trump, let me tell you something. America is not great right now. It's not been great. What the fuck rock have you been living under, bruh?
He'll say, well, right before Corona, everything was perfect. Was it perfect?
Oh no. And this is just the match that set it off. And you hear it's so crazy because the only narrative that you hear on the Fox side is the looters and the people who are doing the bad shit. And then all you hear on MSNBC or the other side is, how nobody is doing anything but peaceful protesting. Well, there is something in the middle, y'all, because there are a lot of bad actors in this that are going on right now. It's nuts the amount of things that are in play.
And then they make it political. And that's
of course
what drives me crazy. Like, you can't just report like the facts and leave it at the facts. And that's why I like the YouTubers when they go out. Like, you've got Unicorn Riot, Zach and Matt Show, other YouTubers, I don't know their names. They're out there documenting what is happening, so you're seeing it firsthand of what the real story is. When the news, they have to spin it for their own, their own party. So
it makes it sick, man, just to see where, and you do have bad actors. You've got bad actors on both sides, man. I saw a literal, it was a thing, right? And it had where you could tear off the name, and it said funded by George Soros on it. It's like crazy, like the things that you see, like when you start digging, and like it's a lot of times it's hard to tell what's like real and what's fake. But if you can find multiple sources that correlate, a certain thing, you can kind of try to judge the truth that way. If it's backed up by several sources, then you're probably pretty safe that it's true. But man, it's the climate that we live in right now. It's like, what? It's nuts, man. You've got people who are like staging bricks at these events.
mm-hmm.
Busted staging bricks. Come on, man. That's some fun. That something is going on behind the scenes. That there's something not right, man. It's almost like they want to institute just like absolute full control for some reason.
Mm-hmm. It's scary stuff.
It is. Oh my gosh.
So we can talk about some of the moments in the protests that are happening. I mean, there's been a lot of fires. It's a lot of destruction. There's a lot of, and it's crazy
Matt sticking his foot in his mouth.
Yeah, because Fox News does want to portray it as they're all bad and they're all destroying the country. And if you're probably not watching, but if you are one of the people that is looting and rioting and destroying things, it's probably not the best way to go about it, especially if it's a small business, a little mom and pop shop that is already struggling because of coronavirus. You don't want to ruin their lives because you're angry. Does that make sense? So, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with setting a Target on fire, but Target is better equipped to, to handle the impact of that. Then they get more money. So,
but you know what the crazy thing is I saw somebody tweeted out They said, like, we're people are so pissed off about the looting that's going on, and like the biggest fucking looting in American history took place when they signed the CARES Act and all these other bills where they just fucking robbed the American people blind yet again and lined the pockets of the wealthy once again. It's like, are you? At some point, it's got to stop. At some point, it's got to stop, man. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you have this situation, right? This horrible situation that takes place. You've got people who are jobless because of the coronavirus who are struggling anyway, and it's the perfect storm. It's the perfect storm. For what, though? That's the part I'm trying to figure out. It's the perfect storm for what? Because it's obvious that the government never, ever lets the crisis go to waste. Period. They're either instigating the crisis or they're using it. That's just the fact. Our government does not care about us. No. They do not care about us.
We need Andrew Yang. But Andrew Yang would not be able to change everything by himself. And that's just the facts. But it would be a good start. So I'm voting for Yang.
Is that where you fall on it?
Yep.
Third party vote. You know, a third party protest vote does matter. It does matter. It does matter. Vote who for, I don't know. I understand like the Trump outrage. I get it. I came from the Trump side and I'm pissed off at him at the time. You know,
he's handling this. The way he's handled Corona, like everything. Oh. Continue.
Sorry, you were talking about Trump, and then I saw this. Like China 1916, but you said Trump and I saw China and I just heard
you just heard Trump saying it?
I heard Trump say China. I just started laughing. Sorry. Anyway, back on track. That's the thing about Trump. He is funny. What? Writing in Yang. Absolutely. Do it. Do it. Write it.
And vote who you want to vote for.
Listen, somehow we got to convince the DNC, and I don't know what it's going to take, but I feel like it's really picking up steam. This idea that it's bringing it back. Like, how do you?
It's just not up to the DNC, really.
Why?
Since they're not going to.
They're the fucking corporate masters, right?
Even if
they're the puppet masters.
They're not going to bring him back. They would never choose Yang. Even if 100% of the country right now was Yang Gang. They would never.
I feel like 100% of the country is Yang Gang right now.
They just don't know it yet.
They just don't even realize it. For sure.
I feel like when Andrew Yang gets up there, he's gonna have. It's gonna be similar to. Never mind. I don't want to mess up my historical facts. He's gonna have so much support. I feel like it's gonna be a small group of people that don't like him as president. Does that make sense? You know how it's like 50-50?
Because he's so well liked by both sides. Mm-hmm. He's so well liked by both sides of the aisle.
He would have the support of the majority of the country.
Yeah, I think he would too. Mm-hmm. But you know what the problem is? He would not have support of the majority of these dipshits we got up there in Washington right now. Right?
You gotta get rid of them.
Somebody asked the question of do you think the Yang Gang would like Jesse Ventura? It's the body, man. How do you not like Jesse the Body Ventura? Of course.
We're so diverse anyways. There's a lot of us that would like him, and then there's some of us that wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So
we are diverse, but I think a lot of the Yang Gang would support Jesse Ventura because he is outside the box and he does know a lot of what's really going on behind the scenes. And Jesse's been on it for a long time. People used to tout him as a conspiracy theorist. Well, they used to tout us that way too until everybody started realizing the facts. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, the government really is spying on us." Oh.
All the stuff we said years ago, we would get made fun of so hard. They'd be like,
"Tinfoil hats." Yeah.
The NSA is not keeping all of your data. That's bull crap. GMOs are not bad for you. You know, it was just so many different things that we were on.
Oh my gosh, there's just so much. It's just so crazy.
And then years later, everybody's like agreeing with what we were already saying and getting made fun of for years ago. But then we could liken that to Andrew Yang talking about UBI and getting laughed at and made fun of. And now everybody's talking about it. But of course, Congress doesn't want to do it. But they're not making fun of him anymore.
Actually, Bernie Sanders just, I think it was today. Today. Well, yeah, today. Come out and called for the Senate to revisit the $2,000 a month stimulus that would be retroactive for several months, I think, and $2,000 per child, and told Mitch McConnell that basically, dude, what the hell are you doing, man? The American people are like really, really suffering right now, and these riots that are going on are bringing it into perspective for them, I think.
Hopefully.
If I was sitting up there, okay, I'm in Washington, right? Or not in Washington. I'm probably hiding in my underground bunker somewhere, right? What do you guys, hold on, let me finish this stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck, man. American people are pissed, dude. Like, as a whole, the American people are pissed. This is in every major city. This is in Washington, D.C. They're burning the place. They are. It's okay. What would be the best way for me to fucking, I don't know, calm the people down?
Well, apparently Trump thinks it is tell all the governors to tighten up and stop being weak.
Trump's just a dick. No, I probably shouldn't have said that. Sorry. He is. That's what he is.
Yeah, that works.
I almost said something else. See, this is why we can't, hold on. This is why we can't hate on Matt Skidmore so much, man. Matt Skidmore, let me just address this really quick. Matt Skidmore is a 20-year-old kid. I'm 44 and I just called Donald Trump. I mean, you got one. Matt made the mistake. Matt didn't know the room, but Matt. If you know anything about Matt, and we've had the honor and the privilege to be around Matt. Matt's humor is like really weird. He's like
He's
a
got
weird
a weird
dude.
sense of humor. No offense, Matt.
He's really cool though. He's really, really cool. He just, I don't know, like we would make a joke or something, like he wouldn't even laugh. It's just like,
well, I mean, we probably do think we're funnier than we actually are, but
I'm pretty funny though. I mean, and anyway, you just gotta know Matt. And Matt made the mistake of calling a lady the B word last night. He didn't wait, yeah. Right. Hold on, let me go back. Because that's exactly where stuff got screwed up.
Then take this question off, we'll answer it later.
Yeah, take it off. That's where it got messed up. Matt did not call her the B word. Okay? So let's not get it twisted right there. Let's take all the emotion out of it and let's look at it logically. Matt did not call her the B word. He said, stop acting like the B word.
Which she was. And, you know, there's more to it than just that, though.
She had been hassling him all day. Okay? Now, if I tell you to stop acting like a groundhog, that doesn't mean I called you a groundhog. I just told you to stop chewing on a tree or whatever it is you're doing that's groundhogish. Let's not get that twisted. Those are two different things. So the conversation ends right there. He never called her a B word. He said, stop acting like a groundhog.
Oh my gosh.
Stop.
But there's a lot more to it than that. And if you want to see it for yourself, it's near the end of the stream that the Zach and Matt show did yesterday. And both sides were wrong. Okay? Sure.
He shouldn't even said that.
There was a few things he shouldn't have said, but
he apologized for it. He apologized. Dude's 20 years old. He was not trying to be racially insensitive or anything else.
If you know, make excuses for him.
No, it ain't about making an excuse. I ain't got to defend shit. The truth is the truth. He never called her the B word, so the conversation is well, I'm telling everybody else. Okay. I don't have to defend nothing. You call me what you want to call me. I've been called some of the most horrible things in the book. So do what you got to do. But you ain't got to defend the truth. The truth will defend itself. And the fact of the matter is, he never called her a B word. So shut the shit down right there and leave the man alone.
And he was also not being, he was not,
he shouldn't have been disrespectful.
Right. And he wasn't being racist. It somehow got to, you know, the topic saying that he is racist for the way he talked to her. And I don't even want to get into the whole race issue of it because it's not how
that line never has to be crossed because he was not being he never called her the B word. He said, stop acting like a grandma. Period. Conversation over.
Yes. Wrong on both sides. Does not make it right. He apologized and we're moving on. And yeah. And we're not mad at you, Matt, just so you know.
It was brought up, you know, that he was making money off of a tragedy.
That too.
CNN is there making money off of this tragedy. Every major news outlet is there making money off of this tragedy. And the fact of the matter is, Matt's donating everything that he's making from the live stream to something else. So he's not even taking any money for it. So he's not making any money. So get off the man's back. And even if he was making money, he's there providing a service. Just like you would tune into CNN, they're there providing a service, and a man should be paid for his time, period. He's there documenting it for thousands of people to watch. You watch the news, don't you? Guess what? You pay for that shit when you watch their advertisements. It's nuts. Come on, y'all. Think. This shit has gotten so out of hand, man. We got to bring some thinking and some back to this conversation, man. Let's be rational about this. It's nuts.
And also, sorry, you got bullied. Now let's move on to the question.
Yeah, man, sorry you got bullied. Getting bullied is never fun.
It was just everybody's emotions, you know. It was an emotional thing, and people should not try to have discussions when they are emotional. This is why I have no emotion.
And this is why Mama Yang Gang usually wins most of our arguments because she takes the emotion out of it. I'm the emotional one. But, you know, I get emotional when, you know, it's the truth. I mean, the truth is like a lion, man. You just said it. You just set it free, baby. You just set it free. Von Doyle. Very upset. My fault. I made it. I paid the man for his time. Thank you so very much. It's really awesome to see a super chat come in. We were just it's great. Thank you so very much for that. Common sense. Yes, common sense. Common sense said, I guess I'm needed here for sure. We got to, y'all. We got to realize that we're all in this. Oh man, we got to stay strong as the Yang Gang, y'all. We cannot let this stuff divide us.
Right.
Of all the groups to not get divided, the Yang Gang is the one that absolutely must stay together because I don't know if y'all know this or not. You know, Daniel Ayerson put out a book, right? Mm-hmm. And it's called The Yang Gang Are the New Leaders, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And that's the truth. The Yang Gang has become the voice for so many. For the voice of the broke folks. For the voice of the minimalized and the marginalized. For the voice of, you know, old folks who can't pay for their medicine. The Yang Gang is this collective of humanity first. Humanity first. We have to remember that concept, y'all. That's our battle cry. That's what we've been since the start. That's what the Yang Gang's about. The Yang Gang always had a vision of, hey, let's get the homeless people this $1,000 a month. That's humanity first. The Yang Gang, when they were assembling on that pier, right? And the dude was playing the guitar and he got upset. And the Yang Gang came together and filled his bucket overflowing with money. And he sang one of the most beautiful songs. Oh, I'm getting choked up.
Just thinking about it. It was a beautiful moment. That is the Yang Gang.
That's the Yang Gang. Go ahead, take it away.
Let's keep it humanity first. You know, let's try not to be bullies. Let's not try to tell other people how to be humanity first as well. You know, everybody's different.
Because that ain't nothing but gaslight, man.
Right. We have the same goals, really. We love people and we want to help people. And we really need to keep focused on that because it is very, very important. And if we're doing all this infighting, then we're not focusing on humanity first. We're just trying to see who's right. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. And that's not going to work. We got to stick together, y'all.
Look, I picked at you a while ago for getting up on the live stream. And then I just had to get, but look, sometimes.
No, I'm professional.
Because I believe in, I am unprofessional. This is why I would never make a great, I don't know.
I'm sorry, we can't be professional, y'all. We just are who we are. We try to make that a thing.
And you either like it or you don't.
True.
I don't know. I get emotional, man, when I think about this.
Are you gonna start crying again?
Probably, yes. And give me about 30 seconds and I'm probably gonna start crying again.
This is why I don't have emotions. He sucks them all out of me and he just cries so much. I'm like, what the f is wrong with you? I'm totally joking. That was
any ladies out there need an emotional man. I'm getting a little
wow, that was mean. That was
you don't think it was me?
I'm just picking.
You know what's happening? Like right below here, like my boots have become together.
You don't even want to know.
My boots are hooked together.
Wait, I wish I could move the camera to show your boots right now. That is freaking hilarious.
So, unstuck. That was funny.
What are we even doing?
I don't know.
Why are you still watching?
Why are you still watching? I don't know. I get emotional when I think about this thing that Andrew Yang sparked.
Thank you,
Tom. This, you know, it's something that we all. What's so crazy is like everybody that's in the Yang Gang that was drawn to the Yang Gang, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was all something that existed inside of us before Andrew came along.
True.
But we were all so fractured. We were all in different places, right? But that seed was in all of us. And then Andrew comes along, and it's almost like this plant sprouted up from the earth. And we just kept blossoming and growing, and it just more and more people started coming in. You know, it's like the Yang Gang was the nutrients that just fed this tree. Am I getting metaphorical again or what? I can't help it. I preach. That's what I do. I use word illustration.
The man of many metaphors. That was an alliteration. Do you like my alliteration? Oh, you're using metaphors. I don't even know what alliteration. I'm using alliteration. Oh my gosh! Don't ever do that.
You're a rude, very rude lady. You're very rude.
Is this supposed to be a serious live stream? Because I mean,
I don't even know.
If y'all like, we can keep it a little lighthearted to distract you from just the state of this country and this world right now. So, what do y'all want to talk about? Put it in the comments.
You're very, very nasty.
Don't ask to see the fridge. I'm just trying to think of
okay.
What else do we have to talk about today?
I forgot to be on a podcast today. I had a podcast today. I was so focused on all this stuff. Listen, it's the Yang Gang's fault if it hadn't drummed up all this damn Skidmore drama. And I wouldn't have been focused on that.
What live stream are you supposed to be on?
No, it was the podcast with no. Yeah.
Did you at least contact him and be like, I'm sorry?
Yes, we moved it to tomorrow, so make sure that y'all tune in to that.
That's terrible.
Oh, definitely got to bring this up. If, you know, we had mentioned that we were working on a lot of other stuff, and I'm going to put that one back up. Where the hell did it go? I must have deleted it. Anyway.
Deleted it. What was it?
So,
what are you doing?
I'm going to create a banner here real quick. So
he's typing. I don't know if he can talk and type at the same time.
You're going to talk.
I am talking. Did you hear me talking before you interrupted me? Did you hear me?
Did I just burp a lot? Oh my gosh, I just burped. Sorry. And then I just drew attention to it, which just makes it 10 times worse.
I don't know anymore. You're not entertained.
What's the Yang Gang family, right? One word.
Yeah.
It was
Okay, I see what you're doing now. See, I didn't know where to go because I didn't know what we were about to talk about.
We're going to talk about this.
The broke investors and Yang Gang family.
Make sure, open a new tab, find them, and make sure that you subscribe to those channels.
We will put links in here when this video is over because they might be hard to find being new channels.
If you've ever wanted to know what it's like to be broke AF and like trying to figure out like
especially in the middle of everything going on,
especially in the coronavirus and stuff, make sure that you subscribe to that channel. We're working on getting some videos up. We got Meet Kevin's course. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Meet Kevin. Really cool dude. He's a real estate investor.
He does a lot of videos on stimulus. That's how we found him.
Right. And we decided to take the leap and bought his course. And we're currently going through the course and we're making videos of like our journey through this.
We're going to show you what it's like to try to become investors while broke. We're hoping it's successful. Great success story. So we will.
But on that subject, like we have worked very, very hard to like, we've gone from like being homeless, literally being homeless, to trying to better ourselves, to getting a bank account that actually we've had for a long time now, to getting our credit repaired. Couldn't even get bank accounts back in the day. I mean, that's how bad it was. You listen, I remember taking my paychecks down to the corner store and getting them cash. You remember Mangum's Grocery? There was a place called Mangum's Grocery where we were, like, everybody that's broke as fuck did have bank accounts. That's where they all took the checks to get them cash. Crazy. So make sure that y'all, we put in the work to even, we're still broke AF, but we put in the work to try to get things in line to where we may be able to even purchase a house.
The troubles with that. We can go into that on that channel when we get that video up.
We can't even get anybody to give us the time of day.
Yeah.
So
even though he has repaired his credit starting about a year and a half ago, he started working on his credit. Me, on the other hand, I have way too many what are they called? Derogatory marks on mine right now. A couple of hospital visits because I can't afford insurance. That's the main part of it.
How crazy is that? Because you're poor and you can't afford the hospital bills, or you can't afford to go to the that's where universal basic health care.
Universal basic health care and universal basic
UBH and UBI. But that's what we need. That's crazy that we have to actually live in a society like that, and that ruins your credit to where you can't get
anything. I couldn't even get a credit card. So.
Really, and it's an absolute struggle if you've had any kind of issues to get to any kind of point where you can.
Most places won't even rent to you. You have to rent from like slumlords, and that's trouble.
And we all know what that's like. You're not getting your deposit back.
All the stuff is great.
Because you can't afford to return. We all know it. I mean, the broke folk knows what that's like. It's crazy, and that's why this thing that we're going through now, this setback, is just so crucial to everybody. We're talking about the coronavirus. We're already talking about people who can't pay rent. What's next? Where are they going to live now? We've already seen a consolidation of people having to live with other people because none of us can afford shit. It's crazy.
It's just getting worse.
Bear says the Yang Gang didn't fail. Fact is, most of Biden's support is name recognition. Too many Americans are politically non-informed. We need to continue to work to raise Andrew's star for the next 4 years.
This is so true. And thank you. We really do.
That is the absolute truth.
He's got to be known. He's got to be like a common name in every household. You know what I mean? Everybody's got to know who he is, because that name recognition will take him far come the next election. So,
and we really want to have Andrew on the show very, very soon. We haven't reached out to him yet because we kind of understand, like, a lot of people want his time right now, and a lot of people want his attention right now. And I know he's been on a lot of Yang Gang channels, and we just haven't asked him yet. I know he'll come. You know, it's not a question of if he will. We just haven't asked because I don't want to, you know.
I also fear rejection. So, like, in my head, if I ask him, he's gonna like politely decline, but it would still hurt my feelings. It'd be like, why doesn't he want to come on my show? But you know, he would say yes. I already know he would. But in my head, it's still a no. So yeah, I got to get over that.
And I'm always sending him like some emotional inbox.
So he's like, he doesn't even want to contact him himself because he's like embarrassed of the previous things he made.
Not really, but I mean, it's just
a little bit,
right? No, there's a bromance there. You know, there always has been, you know, but because I hold him in high esteem, and I do think highly of him, and I want him to know that I think highly of him. You know what I'm saying? That's just it's not. I don't know. I guess you could call it stroking somebody's ego. You know what I'm saying? But I really feel like he is like a rare person, and I believe that he's a visionary. And I believe that he is the very person that this country needs to lead us out of the shithole that we are in right now. So I let him know. There you have it.
I'd probably read.
I'm like, you're awesome, dude. You're awesome.
Basically,
you are so awesome.
That message one day, and he's just like,
what the fuck is this? Nuts, man.
I think he's in love with me.
I am absolutely in love with Andrew Yang. You know why? Because the man speaks my language. He speaks my language. For sure. If y'all have not purchased this book, you can get a copy. And
I think you can get it on Move Humanity Forward.
You can, maybe.
You know what I'm mad about this? You know why I'm mad about? What does that say right there?
It says thank you.
Yeah, it does. Where's my name?
I mean,
is it because he didn't know how to spell it? That's what it was. That's what it was. No big deal.
Are you telling me the man has got an IQ virtually on genius level, can't spell ELASA?
Well, he didn't want to ask. Maybe. Actually, he went and got that signed. I wasn't even standing next to you when he signed it, was I?
Are you still salty?
Why didn't you tell him to make it out to both of us?
Did you
forget how to spell my name?
Are you still? I think that this is because she's still salty about the time that we all went in for a hug, and like, you know, me and Andrew did the bro hug thing, and like she kind of got left out of that.
But that was on accident.
If y'all have not seen that,
embarrassing.
Y'all make sure that you go check out that embarrassing moment for sure. That
you don't have to.
Awesome.
If you haven't seen it, you don't need to see it because
for sure you need to see it. Because like we all go for this hug, and she comes in like it's gonna be a group hug, and like me and Andrew do the bro hug, and she's like in the air.
He's exaggerating. I like that.
It's like that.
Okay, well now you have to go watch the video to see that he's exaggerating. Okay? It was highly embarrassing for me that was caught on video. If it wasn't caught on video, no one would have known that that's what happened. That I got rejected.
Did it happen again?
Yes. I went up for the high five. I was slow though. He passed me by. I didn't get a high. Whatever. Stop. Stop picking on me.
Okay. We're gonna leave it at that. We love you, American Dystopia, Yang Gang family, whatever the hell you want to call us.
Leave us some comments on this.
Back to Grassroots Yang Gang because I don't know.
What do y'all say? Grassroots Yang Gang, American Dystopia. We are living in a dystopia though. But anyways.
Leave it in the comments.
When the video uploads. Yeah. Okay.
We love you.
Bye. We'll see you soon.
Wow.